What have you been reading? Have you seen any movie or book or something that will keep somebody culturally conscious? Like, what would you suggest to somebody that would help them to be more culturally conscious?
I said this before, that you can't truly understand who you are until you know your history. And I remember, this is crazy, but I didn't have a history class in high school until my senior year because of the school that I was in, and it was the last semester. And so when I got to college and we had a history class, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna fail because I don't know nothing. And so I ended up having to take basic history because I didn't have it. And so I'm sitting in this class and they're teaching stuff and I'm like, okay, well this is what they teach me, you gotta be right, you know? And then as I went through my college experience, I took an ethnic studies course, basic ethnic studies, right? Everything they said in the history class, it wasn't like they proved it wrong, but they told the truth. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know anything. They've been lying to me, you know? And so just from there, I ended up making ethnic studies my minor. And, you know, I kind of went from there and was just kind of deep into it, you know? But right now, I just found this lady, I think her name is Joy DeGray or DeGrew or something like that. But she has this book called Post-Traumatic Slavery Disorder. And when I say this book knocked my socks off, I was like, I've never thought about it like that. And so the whole basis of the book is how you have all these tragedies that happen in America or the world, the Holocaust or wars, or people that are in the military, they go fight and then they come back. When those things happen to those people, there's help for them. They have psychological help. They have doctors that are constantly like, we need to help them. There are reparations for things that they went through, like with the Holocaust. With black people, we're told to get over it. So when the book is about when slavery ended, there was nothing there for us to help us get through what actually happened to us. And so and she goes so deep about how when slavery first ended, like in some places they didn't even tell them, so they were still working for people, or how yes. Hey Billy. It's like no, but and then how they told them you're free. They had nowhere to go, so then they put them in jail for loitering, and then now this starts the prison system. And so she goes so deep, or how lynching was not. That was like recent. That's not like slavery days. That was like my grandma. Not even. And so she just goes deep into how we have to be aware even now, I know for me that book was a constant reminder to remind other people. When I see certain things, I'm like, come on now, we got to do better as a people. Or even I see some people, like I had this, I don't know if I'm going to tell the story. Well, I was walking in the mall, and I was walking with my cousin. He at the time, he was like 17. Walking in the mall, there's two younger white girls talking behind me, and she's like, yeah, this nigga, this. My neck swivel game is on point because it turns so quick. And so I'm like, hey, you don't say that. And so my cousin's like, oh my god, stop, don't check her. But if we constantly let people do things like that, what I'm saying, it's gonna keep going. She's gonna teach her kids that, they're gonna teach that, and that's what's wrong. Nobody's stepping in and saying anything or trying to stop anything, and
letting the cycle out.
Yeah, they're just letting the cycle continue, and I just don't believe in that. And even like my brother, he does certain things, and I'm like, look, what are you portraying? Who are you right now? Because I don't know that guy. You just have to check people, and not necessarily check them in an ignorant manner. That's just for me. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. But just let people know you in the wrong right now, and tell them why. You can't just tell somebody they're wrong. You need to tell them why. That's offensive. You shouldn't say that. That's like this man. Okay, I couldn't believe this happened. I'm at work, and I went to a funeral. one of the guys from my job passed. Went to a funeral. I'm literally, there's 2 black people in my department, which is fine. I don't care. I'm used to being the only black person everywhere. And so, go to this funeral. We come back, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, that was a culture shock, wasn't it? And so I'm like, he's talking to the guy with me, and he's like, yeah. He was like, that was just a culturally aware, like he was just blowing the fact. Like he was just, I guess the style of the funeral was different. You know, in traditional black churches, we believe in celebrating life. Yeah. And some other, races, they sit there and they cry gently. And, we just believe in celebrating the life or just praising Jesus for the life of that person. And I guess I understand it was a culture shock for him, but the way, I can't remember what he said. He said cultural... You can probably cut this out. But he said cultural... I can't remember what this guy said. He didn't say culture shock. He said like cultural... I want to say it started with an A. Not awareness or... I don't know. But when he said it, everybody like looked at me. You know what I'm saying? Like... Because then they know I'm addressing the situation. Right? And so everybody looked at me like... Oh God, like let's go to lunch, but, and I just told him, I'm like, I was like, that's, you can't, I don't know. My thing is, we're all people. That's one. Yeah. I've been to a Catholic church before out of respect for the person that I knew that invited me. That's fine. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to respect that. I'm not going to ask you no questions because I'm not trying to, low key, I'm not trying to learn because I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm into, but you just have to accept it for what it is. That's what you do that. There's no need to, let's blow it out of proportion. And, I'm totally against that. I don't know. It just made me feel some kind of way. Like I would never do that to him because if he was the only Catholic in the room and I was like, oh, them Catholics, they just sit there like that, like I would never say that in front of people because everybody would do what? Look at them like, so what about those Catholics? No, so now I gotta speak for every black person in the world, which is fine. I'm totally, I'll do it in a second. But I just don't think that people should put you in that position. That's just what I'm saying. Maybe I did kind of contradict myself a little bit, but it's just not right. I didn't think it was right because I'm like, we gotta work. You can't be saying stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. Isn't it like a clause in the policy? I'm just kidding.
Go look at it.
Right.
Well, all right then. All right, any final statements or anything you want to?
No, I would just say...
Like if you just, let's ask this question, and I know we probably over time, but Detroit to Midland, what would be a suggestion? I'm going to go back there. Suggestion for Midland and just West Texas. I'm saying Midland, but we're hoping a lot of West Texas people come out or watch this. Detroit, what advice do you give as far as black community in Midland? That you see something that is missing from, or do you, if you do, something that's missing from the Midland community, from like Detroit community?
The crazy thing is, I only know a handful of black people here. I don't attend a black church. My pastor is white. We mixed, Mexicans, blacks, whites at my church. And, but I would say this, don't judge a book by its cover, because I know a lot of people that look at me and they think I'm hard or I'm like standoffish or anything like that. I'm not. I'm one of the sweetest people in the world, and I have a big heart. If somebody needed this jacket right now, I'd take it off and I'd be cold. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me and how I was raised. But people hear Detroit and they think hardcore, ready to go off, which I am at any given moment. But because I have class and I have grace and I have elegance, I'm not going to do that. It's just, if need be, it's there, But I just think people just shouldn't judge a book by its cover and accept people for who they are. That's just all people. Yeah. But Midland, it's a different.
So I know we only probably got 5 minutes, but You just said that. And, last question.
Okay, for real.
So one thing that I noticed, and I even noticed it with Midland kind of going through old newspapers looking for stuff. Like a lot of times, media will demonize kind of a certain area or like there's like looking through them old papers, like you can tell specifically like during the civil rights, like they started demonize a lot of things that's happening around black people. Like it'll say like there's some riot and there's like somebody got killed, like and so and it was just kind of the way they went at it. It was like you could tell they're trying to demonize it to kind of hurt the civil rights stuff. And my question is, like, do you feel like, because like I've been watching TV and what you just said kind of brought it up. Like watch TV, they kind of every time you hear Detroit, you really do kind of see almost a demonization of Detroit. Like you don't really see like what you've seen. Mm-hmm. Like you don't see the good people out of it. Like what do you like? Is that like upsetting? Like what's that go through your mind? Like when you see like Detroit portrayed on TV, like where they almost looking at the specific bad, mm-hmm. and like not even like Detroit and Chicago, like all like this places like you'll see, but Chicago is definitely in the news now. Yeah, where they're trying to demonize it out this world. Like what do you say to that? And like how do you like kind of overcome like that negative stereotype of stuff like?
One, I will say this: it does hurt because you know you grow up in a place and you survive a place really, and you come to say Midland or like I went to college in Ohio. And Ohio, I'm not gonna say Ohio, they got some parts too, but I grew the place where I went to college was predominantly white. The school was predominantly white, and so people, it does hurt because you do feel like you have to defend, and because I'm educated, you know, and I stand for something. I have, you know, my mom raised me right, and for you to categorize me with everybody that does that is just not fair. But I will say this. What was the question again?
The question was, I guess, the demonization of like Detroit and Chicago. Like, how do you? I think you answered the first one. Like, how do you feel about that? And then like it's more of like how do you overcome like those negative stereotypes? Like when you go other places. Like I'm pretty sure. Like other people in Midland, I think kind of say it probably like, oh, Detroit.
And the first thing they say, like, so what is it really like? Yeah. Like it's like a, like it's a land far, far away. No, but I think the way we overcome that is we just be who we are. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way for me to take the Detroit out of myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just a presence or an aura or I ain't gonna see arrogance that we kind of have that's our own. You know, nobody can duplicate that. And even Chicago, they have a swag or a style of their own. And I think you just have to be who you are. I can't change the fact that I was from Detroit. I can't change the fact of what I went through when I was younger, you know? Mm-hmm. Same thing you can, you know what I'm saying? You grew up Amarillo? Yeah, in Amarillo. So, you know, you can't change those things about yourself and you just be who you are. And I think what people don't know is there's a community in Detroit that's so, like, educated community, that's so tight-knit, and everybody knows everybody, and there's networking and things going on that they're not portrayed in the media, unfortunately. But you know, that's just like I was gonna wear my shirt, everybody see them, even Rick Ross wear them or celebrities wear them that say Detroit versus everybody. And sometimes when we go places, that's how we feel. It's just us against the world. But with that being said, we do what we have to do. You know, the people that are there that are living in poverty, they survive. You know what I'm saying? Or when things happen on their blocks, they're helping each other. That's the stuff that people don't see. You know, or how there's like right now there's a 22-year-old young lady that's running for mayor. Oh, wow. Like they don't show that stuff. Or how in Inkster there's a guy, I think he's like 24. He's the councilman there. He's going on his like 3rd year. Oh, wow. You know, there's things like that people don't see about Detroit or in Michigan that they just see, oh, okay, this person got shot or this person got killed. That's everywhere. Let's check Odessa stats. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's check El Paso. Let's check, you know what I'm saying? These places that people just, they kind of throw off to the side. And, you know, I don't think it's fair. But we know what we standing up against, and so we just defend and we act like we got some sense. The ones that do know, and we do what we have to do. We take care of business.
Awesome, and be unapologetic.
Yes, unapologetic about it.
All right, awesome. All right, so thank you, Miss Kiki.
You're welcome.
We definitely appreciate them awesome answers. And once again, come join us February 24th through 26th for Unapologetically Black. It's going to be in Midland at the PAC Center. Check out the website. It's going to have all your schedule, what times everything happened. You're going to see Miss Kiki there as well. So it's going to be an awesome weekend. So make sure you come out to that. All races. I want to make sure I say it. All races. It's not about just like it's Black history, but Black history is American history. So come out and join us. It's a celebration just of the Black art and Black culture, and I promise you're going to enjoy it no matter what color and no matter what background you are. So we'll see you then. All right, talk to you later.